Hey everybody, it's Aldebar here, back with another Tutorial Tuesday, and in this video I'm going to go over 5 tips that help me improve my traditional art. I base these 5 tips around the different stages you go through when you're drawing, like sketching, line art, coloring, and so on. The best way to show you how these tips have helped me improve my art is to show you guys my art improvement since 2015. So in this video, I'm doing a speed draw of a character that I've been drawing since 2015. She was the very first full art I had ever done. So just to give you guys some background before I get into the tips, the reason this character means so much to me and the reason she was my first full artwork that I had ever done was because it was my character from a game called LaTale. I'd been drawing on and off for a few years, but I only really got into art after I had done this. There was this person on the LaTale forums that used to post all of this amazing artwork of their characters, and I was so jealous of their skills and their talent. I didn't find out until after they left the game that all along, they were my best friend on there. I had been friends with them for months, and I never even knew that they were the person I admired so much. Let's go ahead and get into the tips, though, starting with sketching. I used to get so frustrated whenever I had to erase later because it destroyed the paper underneath. I'm someone who makes a lot of mistakes, so now I use a light box, and it allows me to make multiple redraws of the same artwork until I get it right. Basically, I take the artwork that I've already done, and if I don't like it, I put another piece of paper over top of it, and I trace over my own artwork and redo it again and again and again until I get it right. You really don't have to spend the money on a light box, though, because as long as you have enough natural daylight, you can take another sheet of paper and put it over top of your original drawing and just trace over it. It really does help if the drawing underneath you've already done is like really dark. And it also helps if you're using thin enough paper. Like here, I'm using copy paper for all of my sketches. Almost a guarantee you're going to make some kind of mistake while sketching, and it's just so much easier to just redo the entire thing than continuously erasing on the same drawing. So when redrawing this artwork, I really wanted to try and mimic the original drawing's pose I had from the very first time I drew this character, because I've redrawn this character so many times now, but I never tried to redraw her pose. The original 2015 artwork was very 2D, and there was like almost no perspective on the pose, so I really tried to liven it up and make it more dynamic this time around, and I accomplished this by taking a 3D model in Clip Studio Paint, and I just put it in the pose I wanted, and then I printed it off, and I used that for reference. You'll see me occasionally taking the drawing and the reference photo off the table, and I actually just held them up in the air because I wanted to get a different angle at it when I was looking at them, because I was trying to figure out what the leg looked like, because I struggled with this pose so much, you guys. I'm still trying to work on perspective and foreshortening in all of my drawings, so this was an attempt at that. So we're still waiting to get to the inking, so I figured I could talk a little bit more about the drawing itself. You'll see that I have this little reference sheet I made at the beginning, and basically, since I've redrawn this character so many times, her outfit has changed so much that I really had to decide on what I wanted to include in this drawing and what I didn't. I wanted to be more bold in this drawing, so something I actually included, which I haven't drawn since 2015, was her bow. Now, in one of the previous drawings, I did end up giving her daggers, and the reason for that was she had reached a high enough level in game that she could switch weapons because she was normally an archer, but then she could also use 2 knives. The main reason I gave her daggers, though, was because I didn't know how to draw a bow and arrow. You clearly see this because in the 2015 drawing, she's hanging on to the bow by the string. Now, clearly, I still have so much more to learn, and I am by no means a professional in this field, but honestly, I think little me would have been so proud of the artwork I created today. Okay, so we might not be quite to the line art stage yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into more tips because I'm impatient. I struggle very hard with line art because I have shaky hands. To combat this, I do a very thin line art for the entire drawing, and then I go back over it as needed. It might not make it as tiny and as thin as I would like it in the end, but at least it's a lot smoother. I noticed from like really professional anime artists is that their line art is so thin. Drawing traditionally, that would be a 0.05 micron or even smaller. I have to say though, line art is one of the things I hate the most in all of my artworks, but this one wasn't so bad. I actually did pretty good and my lines weren't as shaky as they normally are. Said before, I've made a lot of changes to this character over the years, but I noticed in I think the 2018 drawing, I made the center of her belt a donut, and I really liked that for some reason, so I made sure to include it in this one. Also, in some of the previous drawings, her shoes had multiple cherries on them, but I thought it looked a lot nicer with just one on each foot. First, I never gave her some kind of quiver to hold the arrows, so I made sure to add that as well. Since her bow is some kind of like pink moon thing, I thought it would be cute to give her little stars for arrows. I had a lot of fun adding in all of the little kitties in this drawing. However, the one kitty I didn't keep was the one that was like chasing after a bird, and the only reason I didn't keep it was because I really didn't feel like trying to figure out how to draw a cartoon bird better than before. If you're trying to trace something, make sure you tape it down with some washi tape, because the most annoying thing is when you're trying to ink something and the paper underneath moves and then you have to line everything back up again. And I made sure to use washi tape because if you use scotch tape, it'll probably damage your paper. I can continue to improve on my anatomy and foreshortening and stuff as time goes on, because I hope that when I redraw this sometime in the future, the overall pose will look better. The past few years I've had full-time jobs, and there's been some weeks where I'm working like 60 hours at a time, and I really haven't set aside enough time for drawing, so I haven't improved as much as I would like over, this past time since 2015, but overall I'm still really happy with how this turned out, and I still think I've improved a lot, even if it's not to the degree as some other artists in the same time period. Really hard to remember sometimes that like art isn't a competition, because honestly it feels like it when you're on Instagram constantly seeing all of these other artists, sometimes younger than you and normally better than you. I might not be Leonardo da Vinci, but I'm pretty proud of this, and that's all that really matters. So into my tip for coloring. So something that majorly improved my art over the years is just making sure I really fill in all of the white gaps and I completely color in every area so it doesn't really have that colored pencil crayon look to it. Obviously, 2016 is nowhere near perfect, but I'm still really proud of the jump I had made between 2015 and 2016, because I think overall the anatomy and just the coloring had just improved, like it's skyrocketed. So let's talk shading, specifically shadows. I try to use multiple colors when shading, pinks, purples, dark blues, etc. It adds more dimension and makes it more realistic. It's not that you can't ever use pure white or pure black, but just try to use them sparingly. Personally, just using a darker shade of the color you're already using is typically going to look better when you're making shadows. My last tip is for highlights. I try to go sparingly with my highlighter pens now and mainly focus on the actual colored pencils in main media for creating darks and lights, because if you use too much of a jelly roll, it's not going to look right. I really hope you guys can learn from my mistakes, because it'll save you so much time. So I actually have some news. The reason this video is going up later than normal is because earlier today I had to go down to my Chamber of Commerce because I ended up signing for the local art festival, and I'm just so excited because I'm going to do a booth with my sister, and I can't believe I'm actually committing to this. This is something I've wanted to do for years, and I kept telling myself I was going to do it, and I just kept putting it off, and I'm so excited because I finally registered for it. So on October 1st, I'm gonna go to my local art festival and like vend my art and stuff. Obviously, as excited as I am, this is also a lot of stress because now I have to get so many artworks done so I can start selling prints and stuff. But also, I'm just mainly doing this festival so I can have it as like a bit of an outreach for my business, and maybe get the word out there about my YouTube a little bit more to all the kids in the area and teens. And I'm just so excited because, guys, I've planned for this for so long. I've been planning for this for years and all the things I want to do for my booth, and I am just over the moon right now. I have a list in my planner of all the supplies I have to get. I already have the canopy tent, but I gotta get a new table because I don't really want to borrow my family's. And I have so much branding stuff to buy. It's crazy. I have to get banners and stuff, and I have to get new business cards because I really have to update them with my new logo and everything. And there's just so much to do. If you hear my occasional chuckling, that's my nervous laughter because, guys, I'm so stressed but also so excited. If any of you guys are in southern Alabama and have heard about the Claybank Jamboree, I hope I will see some of you there. Also hoping I have more YouTube videos up by then, because if I'm going to be recommending people to come check out my channel, I want to make sure there's enough stuff for them to watch that isn't like 5 years old. There's just so much I want to do with my small business, and I can't wait to finally have the opportunity to do all of these things, and this is just like the first step in all of my plans. Let's not forget about what the end goal here. It's the sponsorship from Build-A-Bear, where I can have my own custom Alda-Bear being sold in all of the stores. I'm just joking, but I'm also not joking. A lot of people get on to YouTube for the money, and yeah, hopefully one day I'll be able to make some money from it and not have to work. But on top of that, I'm mainly just doing this because I have so much fun creating these videos for you guys, and honestly, there's so much stuff I want to do with my channel, and there's so much stuff I want to do before I die. So here we are creating art and having fun, hopefully. I mean, hopefully I'm not the only one having fun. Honestly doubt anyone's made it this far into the video, but if you have, comment the word tacos down below. I wonder how many of you will actually know to do that. So you're one of the real ones if you're watching my videos to the end, because oh my god, get me those watch hours, you guys. I love you. Her hair, I started off with this base color, then I kind of realized it looks like Jackie Lynn Thomas from Star Wars: The Forces of Evil. So if you have made it this far, I just want to thank you so much for watching this channel and supporting me, and hopefully, you know, every minute counts on YouTube videos, so every minute counts towards the watch hours, and hopefully one day I can get monetized so I can do more fun giveaways and stuff for you guys, because I have so many contests and stuff I want to host, and I'm really excited to be doing this. So if you have made it this far, thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have any requests, be sure to leave them down below in the comments. I'm always looking out for new videos to make. I do have a complete list of stuff I have to get done for videos, but anyways, yeah, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye! 9Cat away.